Hello and welcome to my kitchen. I have some of these gourds laying around as decorations, and since we're approaching Thanksgiving, I thought I'd go ahead and use them in a recipe. So I'm just going to start by cutting off the top. Now, you need a very sharp knife when you're working with the gourds and squash because they are tough, but able to take that off. And then I'm just going to take off a little bit of the bottom. Now, that was a lot easier. This goes in our compost pile. Let's cut this in half. And that will make it a little easier to work with. Okay, lovely. So you can see that there are some seeds. We need to scoop those out, and I think using an ice cream scooper is a great way to do this. And I'm going to place the squash skin side down into our baking dish. Now I have preheated the oven to 400 degrees. At this stage, we're going to use olive oil, salt, and pepper to season it, as well as some fresh herbs. Start with the olive oil so the other ingredients have something to stick to. And I just like to rub it around. And let's start with the salt. Don't be afraid to add quite a bit, because during the cooking process, these flavors will be absorbed somewhat. Pepper. Nice. Okay, let's use some fresh thyme. This is from my garden. You can use dried thyme. Really any kind of herb that you prefer or have readily available to you, go for it. It's at the end of the growing season, but still have a few fresh herbs left. How about some rosemary? This is going to be so fragrant. Okay, into the oven, 400 degrees for 30 minutes. Our squash looks beautiful. It's like there's a little bit of browning on the edges, which is lovely because that brings a little bit of caramelization. But you can see if you insert a dinner fork, it goes right in. So this is nice and tender and ready for our food processor. So I just took the shell off of it. So it's almost like peeling a potato. And then I kind of roughly chopped it and put it into the food processor. Now to the food processor, I am going to add a 1/4 cup of organic chicken broth. And then here's kind of a fun trick. I made hazelnut walnut butter. Simple to do. Just buy the nuts, melt the butter, and then add it all together, process it in your food processor, or just mash it. Put it back into your refrigerator and it will solidify. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of butter. You don't want too much fat in this. And so that's probably 1/2 teaspoon, maybe a little more. Let's process. Oh, that is amazing. So it's the consistency of almost like mashed potatoes, maybe not quite as thick, but I would use this almost as a sauce under like a duck breast or a turkey breast. Right, so I'm just gonna make this my main meal. And I'm gonna just go ahead and put this in a pasta dish, kind of as the base of the dish. Oh, it smells so good. But I'm just going to do a tiny bit of goat cheese on top. Let's try. Unbelievable that this started as a decoration and turned into a gorgeous meal.